drink. This is more of a functional beverage. And before I get into a lot of the results or anything that are going on, I want to back up and explain a couple things about this drink. This drink increases the nitric oxide production in your body. 2012, there's some excellent papers in regards to nitric oxide dissolving plaque in the brain and being a very promising therapeutic for dementia and Alzheimer's. Unfortunately, as they did more work, they found there is a negative side of nitric oxide. The longer you breathe it, it oxidizes in your body and stuff like that, and it can create what they call peroxide nitrites, which is very damaging to signaling cells in the brain and stuff. So that they have to stop. Now, our drink boosts nitric oxide in your body. And you take those clinical studies and say, well, this has got some promising things, and it's got negative. Our product also is a very rare product, a very unusual product. It has dissolved and infused ultra-pure molecular hydrogen. Molecular hydrogen has numerous clinical studies also. And some of the studies talk about and show and prove and establish that the hydrogen can stop the oxidation of nitric oxide. So here we come with nitric oxide, we come with hydrogen. Hydrogen stops the bad effects of nitric oxide. So what has happened with this product and what we've done is it can go on and keep creating nitric oxide for hours in your system, which is unheard of. And that's one of the big things that happens. And we've done all this testing with this product about showing how we can increase better than double your blood flow in your body. So with blood flow comes increased oxygen. The other side of it is in your blood, you're carrying the nitric oxide. So there has been studies that we've been involved with for the last 6-7 months of the blood flow going to the front lobal areas in your brain. Are using what they call a functional NIRS. This is a band that goes around your head or a little skull cap with lasers that can actually read the hemoglobin and your oxygen levels. A company called TechN up in Milford, Mass. has been doing this and has been showing unbelievable results, repeatability time and time again. And so when you start increasing the blood flow, you're carrying the nitric oxide. Nitric oxide, as we talk about, has been shown and proven to reduce the plaque and dissolve the plaque in the brain, one of the factors that causes Alzheimer's. So as you start looking at these areas, we're going further. We're very into quantitative data. I'm leaving some reports with you that shows a lot of the tests that we've been doing. The amazing thing is that during these tests, we've got some tests done up here in Austin by Wave Med, and they did a EEG. And one of the amazing things they found was we were increasing the voltage in the brain. And so I'm not a doctor or anything else, so we were asking questions. Lucky we can tie our shoes, saying, all right, what's that mean? And well, we're not too sure. Everybody kept giving the kind of answers back and forth about it. Well, we've been able to access a very well-known doctor, Dr. Barhart Biswell, out of the New Jersey Institute of Technology. He is globally recognized for brain imaging and work. He took the data that TechN did, and they actually were running all the work under the protocol of Dr. Biswell that he outlines. And he did a 15-page report, which you have here. To sum it all up is we created an increase in functional connectivity of all components of the brain. And so when you start looking at like calcium in the brain and the channels, there's all sorts of electrical charges going on. This is so rare, and what's going on is that we've got all the compartments of the brain coming together and it's synchronizing, causing this functional connectivity of all those areas. That's where you start looking at increased focus, memory, alertness. They're also going into deep sleep. And he's going to be using some of his patients already because they're looking at the fluid that comes up from your spinal cord that in deep sleep gets to your brain and helps, flush out any metabolic waste and dissolve plaque. And the hypothesis is, from the data that we've got so far, that Hydroshot is working just like, I think it's called CSF, fluid that comes up from the spinal cord. Hydroshot's doing that, but it's doing it for 8 hours. And one of the tests that was amazing was, it was a blood plasma test. And there was 10 grams of a beet powder used with water. And it started out at X level. In 45 minutes, it already had dropped by 50%, just sitting still. We went back and used the same beet powder, but infused it with hydrogen. So it's a third less. It was 2.5 times higher, the starting level of nitrites in the blood plasma. At an hour and a half, the blood plasma nitrite levels were still rising. And it was just shocking to everybody what's going on. We started out looking at that was a good product. Problem is, beets, not everybody's going to love the taste of beets. And then you have the issue of bacteria in the mouth and stuff. And it says, don't use mouthwash and don't brush your teeth. Now you're going to walk around with red, ugly looking bad mouth, teeth and stuff like that, and bad breath. So we found that citrulline, which is a derivative from watermelon, could create the same nitric oxide conversion. And the beauty of citrulline is that when you swallow it and stuff like that, it bypasses metabolism at the liver, goes into the kidney and stuff like that, converts to L-arginine, and that converts into nitric oxide. And then all the good things that hydrogen has caused, it able to recycle that nitric oxide and stop any of the negative effects that come with it. We do have results where people, had operations, it had skin grafts that it was not healing. They were going to amputate his foot and stuff like that. From that, there's pictures. It's actually the reports here. 7 weeks of drinking the product, 1 a day. So a couple of times he did 2 a day and healed it. No problems with that. We had another one that had MRSA, and they were going to amputate his foot and stuff like that. And then it gave it 7 days. And there's pictures on our website. I warn you about the ugliness of the pictures. It's actual holes in the bottom of his foot that you can see the bone. And there's a progression of the pictures of what happened with it, and it totally healed it. Never lost his foot. One of the key things also is that you will not build up an immunity to this. You'll have somewhat of an cumulative effect. You'll keep noticing that going on. You'll see some improvements now. I'll give you a study on a young lady who had stress-induced asthma. She was a gymnast. When she started out, her lung capacity was 220 liters per minute. Even when she took steroids and stuff like that, it'd only get up to about 300. Over a period of time, drinking 1 can a day, and they monitored on a daily basis, we've seen a slight increase in her baseline every morning going on. By the time they got through at 5 months, her baseline was 365. That was higher than what even steroids could do for her lung capacity. She no longer has any issues with stress asthma. Linda, have you felt any relief?
Yeah,
You don't feel that tightness?
Did you take it? Did you try it?
I took it.
Yeah.
It's been almost 20 minutes.
Your chest doesn't feel tight? So on a serious note, your chest does feel less tight. A lot less tight. 20 minutes.
When was the last time you've had relief from that?
It's been over 4 years. I've not felt like this.
I can't explain to you, but it's just almost like, it's like crap.
I do not.